Planting a seed is easy. Growing it takes some effort. Sunlight, water, good soil, and once it takes root, time creates something strong and dependable. Human Concern International is invested in raising a forest of able and independent communities. We actively provide assistance to refugees and families, supplying food, medical equipment, educational needs. We believe in dignity for all, fulfilling the basic needs of people in difficult circumstances and ending poverty in the world. Fleeing conflicts and disasters, seeking safety, a decent livelihood, a rewarding education. It is our duty to assist them in achieving their true potential. Planting a seed is easy. Growing it takes some effort. Your contributions are a major part of that effort. Your support gives him hope, allows her to dream, and lets their family enjoy a moment of peace. Your support means a lot. Thank you. Your generous contributions are a big part of making a positive change in the world.
Nisa Helpline. Assalamu alaikum, sister. How may I help you?
I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. It felt like just yesterday when me and my family were enjoying Ramadan and breaking our fast in the masjid. But suddenly everything changed because of COVID-19. We were all stuck at home for everyone's safety, and now I watch my husband break down because his business of 12 years has gone bankrupt. And my poor kids grow more agitated day by day. And just yesterday, my mom called me in tears saying that my dad had tested positive for coronavirus and he's in critical condition. I can't take this anymore. I don't know what to do. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I'm Shaheen Akbarali, Senior Project Manager working with Nisa Helpline. Thank you to Human Concern International for sharing their platform today. We have some exciting news that we would like to share with everyone. And as we dive into the details, let's bring up the presentation and get started. Okay, so Bismillah. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We have a combination of our Nisa Helpline team and the Human Concern International team that I'll be introducing in just a few seconds. But today we have some exciting details to reveal to you. A campaign that we have been working hard and preparing and planning, and finally we've come to the time to reveal and share the details so that inshallah everyone can benefit. This campaign is brought to you not only by Nisa Helpline, but a partnership that is with Human Concern International, and will be focusing on women's mental health. I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce the core team to everyone. So with that said, we'll move on to the next slide. I know you guys have met myself, but I wanted to share a few other names that we have here. So starting from left to right, firstly, the first one is myself, Shaheen Akbarali, who's part of the Nisa Helpline team and the Senior Project Manager. We have Dawa Saber, who's our Program Coordinator and also part of the Nisa Helpline team. We have Leika Al-Khusus, who is part of the Nisa Helpline team and fulfilling the role as our outreach coordinator. We also have Brenda Vera, who is on the Nisa Helpline team and fulfilling the role as our communication liaison. We also have team members from Human Concern International. So we have Samantha Mandigora, who's our program consultant, and none other than Mahmouda Khan, who is the executive director of Human Concern International. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to the team. Great job so far. And, I can't wait to dive more into the details of this project and just really get into it. So we'll move on to the next slide. Wanted to give you a little bit of context around who these powerhouse organizations are and to provide you a little bit of context and background. So we'll move on to the next slide. First organization that I want to highlight is Human Concern International. If we hear the name, or when we hear the name Human Concern International, we know that it is one of the pioneer, relief organizations that help to support those in need and help to provide, I would say, immediate support, especially when there is of a concern or distress or an immediate need. Human Concern International, I would say, is one of the first and oldest Muslim international charity organization. Their mission is none other than to save lives and move communities from crisis to sustainability. They've distributed over 200 million of aid across 40 different countries, subhanAllah, touching the lives of millions across the globe. So we at Nisa Helpline are honored to be collaborating and partnering with such an amazing organization that continues to strive to provide the support that communities need globally and locally. I'll now move on to talk to you a little bit about Nisa Helpline. I know you can see the details on the screen right now in terms of, the common spiel of what Nisa Helpline is all about. But I'd like to take a step back and give you guys the backstory, the story of origin. When it comes to Nisa Helpline, I'd like you guys to just pause and kind of think through the details that I'm sharing with you. If we just rewind to about 2012, 2013, picture yourself at an all-women's empowerment conference, none other than being me, and hosting workshops that are relevant to our community, where people are looking for support, answers, solution, assistance. And right after the workshops, we hear the questions, we hear the feedback and the input and the concerns coming from sisters in our community at firsthand, where they're seeking for support. They want a helpline that's familiar to them, where they can receive the help that they need, receive that listening ear that they're looking for, and to be heard and supported. Fast forwarding a little bit forward, conversation between a few ladies where the idea started and now has come to fruition as a helpline that supports our sisters in distress within North America, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 365 days a year. And this is where I want you guys to kind of hear a little bit about the real raw stories that we get, the calls that go unheard, the realities that you don't hear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a little bit of a combination of narrating some of these stories and also kind of sharing relevant statistics that kind of map to it. And please note that the details have also been a little bit adjusted so that we can definitely protect the confidentiality of our callers. But if we could just go back to that slide, I will share with you guys some relevant stories. So what I'd like you to do is just to kind of hone in on the details that I'm sharing with you, listen to the statistics, and just kind of, connect with this. Our first story. Thank you for listening to me. I don't have anyone to talk to. And sometimes I just want to cry, even if it feels silly. So I'm thankful for you and the work that you do. So people are calling, even if it's just like consistently or issues that they're having, they're calling to be heard because they need to be comforted. And if we look at what StatsCan tells us, over 2 million Canadians report experiencing limitation in their daily activities due to emotional, psychological, or mental health conditions. Subhanallah. The next story that I'll share with you, things were so bad that I wasn't eating. And I became so weak, I had to go to the hospital. I was feeling nervous. I didn't know what to do, stressed out. With one call to the helpline, they provided me with the support that I needed. And I began to feel again. They listened. They encouraged me to call my parents and provided me with the necessary resources for a rehab center that is now helping me 3 weeks in. And now I've returned home. 18% say they require a support group, drop-ins, a telephone information, or a support line. So you can see how essential it is that when you're dealing with such issues such as mental health conditions and others alike, that you do need someone to listen, to hear you, and to help steer and navigate you to next steps. The third, hear her story. Sometimes when the thoughts in my head get too much, I call in. I know I'm sorry, and I know the helpline is almost closed. I just needed someone to hear me. 24% of those dealing with mental health consider themselves homebound, making our call center services critical. So even at the cusp of the line when we're just about to close, that call comes in, we will pick it up. So it's that comfort, that peace of mind, that clarity, the resources that help them get to that next step. So please take a moment to take that all in as we move forward. So, you've heard a little bit about the real raw stories. You've heard a little bit about our organizations. Now I want to kind of start to walk you through to our reveal. Why is such an initiative required? So firstly, I will turn it over to the Human Concern International team with Mahmouda and Samantha to share their perspectives. Go ahead.
Sister Mahmouda, I just think you're muted. Sorry.
We can't hear you.
We were just talking about this right before starting the event. Sorry, assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Shaheen, for the wonderful introduction. And I think the video, your stats, the stories you shared, and the video at the beginning of the program just screamed out the need for this program, this type of project that I really don't need to say much. However, I will share a little bit as I was thinking about my experience with HCI and the type of work we've been doing over the past decade. I was recalling my field visits to the Rohingya camps, Bangladesh, India, and back in 2012 when we spoke to the young kids and we asked them, "What do you want to be?" and they would share big dreams. I want to be an army officer, or I want to be a doctor. At the Rohingya camps, they had big hope. I want to go back home one day. Then in 2019, my director of program, Nurani, and myself, when we went to visit again in Bangladesh and Rohingya camps, and we asked, what is your wish? What do you like to be? I was surprised the level of expectation, hope, dream had when it went down to, because they were saying, I just want to graduate from college, or I just want to be able to continue attending class. And some of them were panicking, if my scholarship for HCI stops, then my parents will wed me off and I will not be able to finish my school. And, I was thinking in 7 years, what happened? They went from big dreams of being doctor to I just want to finish my college. And recently, the stories that we're getting from our orphan children from across the world, that we one specific story that came up from a girl in Afghanistan, Sana, she said that, I want to play with other children and I want to be able to make friends. And that's just in 2 years, like they're not even thinking of education or graduating anymore. It's, I want to be able to play and I want to be able to, make friends. So that just made me realize where we are today at our world. And, it is because of the pandemic. These were international concerns, but it had also touched our home. I lost my father 5 months ago due to COVID, and I know our family, our house will never be the same again. And I could speak for all our neighbors and community that we check in and that we should be continuing to check in. And every single household has been touched by COVID. It's either loss of job or, kids who are at home, agitated, like it said earlier in the video, or losing loved ones. It had touched all of us at the need is increasing to address mental health, mental wellness. And it is still a subject that is not being spoken about as much as others. We hear about, and that's great, we should, Islamophobia, all that, we need to talk about that more, but this is one area that hasn't been touched yet. And we need to talk more and more and do more and more about this. It is our responsibility, and that is why we're honored to partner with Nisa Helpline to, do projects like this. And inshallah, this is just a start. My colleague Samantha will talk more about our work, but I would like to say, all the Nisa Helpline, thank you so much for giving us this platform and allowing us to serve our community and address this needs. One thing I would like to say before I pass it off to Samantha is, guys, it's very important, some of us who are blessed, to have income and to have friends and families, and we're extremely blessed. And the more blessed we are, higher degree of responsibility we have. All it takes is just a phone call or just a knock on your neighbor's door. Check in on each other. That's it. Sometimes just we need is a hello, how are you? That's all. It will make our day, or a smile. So please check in, continue to follow HCI, Nisa Helpline. Lots of other organizations are doing an amazing job. Support us. We need your help. We need your prayers, and really looking forward to this partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahmouda. Good evening, everybody. I'm just really excited to be part of this work and to be working with Nisa. We've been working together on this project for, I think, the past couple of months. It definitely resonates with the work that we do at ACI in terms of moving people from crisis to sustainability. That's our buzzwords, or our phrases, if you will. And it's important to just talk about the crisis to sustainability bit when it comes to mental health, in that the people who are reaching out to Nisa are people in crisis. And from speaking to whoever else is on the line, they're able to get some sort of support and for someone to hear them, which helps them to make better choices in the end. So that's the crisis to sustainability bit. In terms of the work that we do at Human Concern International, we definitely have a health focus in terms of just improving people's health and well-being through the support of projects such as these, but also through mobile clinics in hard-to-reach areas where people are in need, but there's no one who's really around who is able to travel all that way to seek support. To give support. So working through local partners to support these health clinics with components of mental health, it addresses a silent illness that mental health is, and pretty much helps people to improve their well-being so that they're able to go to school, so they're able to function in a work setting, so they're able to rebuild friendships, and to address challenges that they faced due to COVID and unexpected things from this year. So I just want to highlight how projects such as this are important, and work such as this is of the utmost importance in terms of just supporting people to improve their livelihoods.
Thank you so much, Huda and Samantha, for sharing all of this. One thing that I just want to mention before I turn it over to the Nisa Helpline team is there was one point in one of your videos in the beginning where it says planting the seeds, to cultivate the seeds. And I think that's where it all starts, right? By having programs and initiatives and resources, it allows us to plant the seeds to, inshallah, continue to help and assist and support and change the narrative for future generations as well. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Lika and Dawa, who are going to talk a little bit more about why this initiative.
Jazakallah khairan, Shaheen, and Jazakallah khairan to the HCI team as well for sharing all the great insights on the importance of mental health and the importance of standing together as a community. Alhamdulillah, that's always something that is needed, especially during those times of just the pandemic and just unease really in all of our lives. So touching up some more, generally, mental wellness is the ability to manage life's highs and lows as they come to us. Each year, 1 in 5 people experience mental health problems. However, the stigma surrounding mental health continues to create a barrier to access for many members of our community. So as much as we struggle and as much as we experience those concerns that come through mental health, just issues or problems in general, there's also just the stigma that comes with it that really hinders the support and the access that many members of our community could reach out to. In our calls at Nisa Helpline, mental health comprises 35%, demonstrating the community's needs for programs such as Educate to Illuminate. So it's just another point that we also see within our own calls in the helpline. So Educate to Illuminate is pretty much where this all finds its place. It's a collaboration, again, with Human Concern International and the Nisa Helpline team in an effort to have increased awareness.
I think we just want to open the slides again, inshallah, just to have the people go with us, walk through with us. The slides, inshallah.
Sorry, I didn't know this.
I think it's going to come up. Yeah, sure.
Jazakallah khairan. Next one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think it's the next 2 more slides.
Yes, the next one.
Yeah. One more? Jazakallah khairan, perfect. So the goal of this project, inshallah, is to ensure that there's increased awareness on mental health so we can address the stigma issue that lies in our community, as well as provide education and tools to appropriately address and communicate with individuals who struggle with their mental health or the stigma that comes from it. I'll pass on the mic, inshallah, to Sister Dua, who can tell you more about the project focus and the audience.
Okay, thank you, Lika, and Jazakallah khair for giving me the platform now. All right. I just want to echo like what everyone said. Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy to be working in this partnership with Human Concern International and Nisa Helpline. This project is really, really important and needed. As we mentioned, mental health is a big issue now, and we need to work more through it. So inshallah, continuing from what Lika was mentioning, I want to say to talk more about who are we speaking to with this project. So if we can have the slides up again. Yes, perfect. So our audience focus for this project, inshallah, for the campaign is community leaders. So what do we mean by community leaders? It includes all from community centers, Islamic centers, as well as Islamic schools and mosques. So we are trying to talk to them, educate them more, and equip them with information that is needed to equip Muslim women with a better mental health. Our next audience, inshallah, is women across North America, as well as Nisa Helpline team members, which include our peer counselors, our volunteers, as well as all the admin staff to make sure that we are providing people with the best service and for our beneficiaries, inshallah. So going again to our project focus. We have 5 main points that we want to talk about. So we want to talk about transparent care. Our goal is to equip community leaders with the language and sensitivity training to be able to provide women with the better help that they need. We also want to work with preventative measure in terms of providing women in general with their religious right. So from like the research that we have been doing, we saw that there are many of the issues that people who lack understanding their religious right, that's why there are many mental health issues that's happening as well. Another focus for us is mental health education and awareness, which will be educating people about the science, symptoms, and where to seek when they need help for mental health. Moreover, we have supportive care, which we were going to be talking about women's rights and educate training. That's again for community leaders, for imams, for scholars to be able to understand the differences between how to treat women, as well as coming all the way for different races, cultures, and this is the difference that we have in our Muslim community in North America. Coming also to self-care. So in self-care, we want to talk about the importance of this practice and how that self-care is not only during the crisis, but it's before and after. So coming after, inshallah, we want to talk about our expected outcome. So why educate to illuminate? And we mentioned that, and now we want to talk about what are we expecting. So our first goal is to have a supportive community and service to women. This is one of our main goals. The second goal is empowerment of women and inspire racial equality. Again, from like the main reasons for mental health issues, we want to educate people to understand the power of empowering women and inspiring racial equality. Also, we want to talk about sustainable resources for all the community members, which is going to be through a workshop and webinars and much more, as well as increasing awareness about the importance of mental health. And of course, this is one of the most important issues. So again, I'm going to give the platform back for Shaheen, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Lika and Dawa. So just wanted to touch on a few things. As you can see, there's quite an array of important categories that we will be focusing on. Whenever we have administered and facilitated workshops or series or webinars, our followers and our audience and our focus groups and our callers, alhamdulillah, they've benefited from it, right? So if you take a look at some of the feedback that has been received over the past little while, people feel the need for this. They feel informed when they're attending a session. They're receiving reminders, that will inshallah continue to help and add value to their day-to-day life and help to instill balance and overall wellness, right? So if we just move forward to the next slide and just kind of wrap up a few things as we get to nearing the end. So in order for us to continue to carry this forward, and by carrying it forward, we're wanting to support our communities at large, not just for the now, but for the later. So for the next generations that will continue to benefit from this. So we need to, help us to help you. And how can you do that? So there's a few ways that you can do that. Raise awareness about this campaign and about the programs that you're seeing on the various social media platforms, be it on the Nisa Helpline platform or on the Human Concern International platform. Share your experiences from us. We want to hear from you. How can we better improve and enhance and elevate the accessible resources and programs that we're going to be putting into place? Express your concerns. Let us know. We want to hear from you. And the way that you can do that is by reaching us at info@nisahelpline.com. If we just move on to the next slide, please don't forget to continue to follow us. This way you can keep informed about what's going to be unfolding in the next few weeks as we continue to, reveal more of what's going to be happening and when we're going to be having it and where and all of that great stuff. So whether it's the Nisa Helpline platform or Human Concern International, stay tuned via the social media tools. Moving on to the next slide. Before I close out and just kind of provide some closing remarks, just want to also open it up if Mahmouda and or Samantha would like to share a few closing remarks, and then we can close out for this evening.
I am muted once again. No, thank you very much, all the wonderful ladies. All I would like to add here that I'm really glad to see a woman in leadership role, and we are pioneered in Shaheen, the entire team of Nisa Helpline. Me being extremely blessed and privileged to have this leadership platform of a Muslim international charity organization. Samantha, our project manager, mashallah, it's really nice to see women in leadership role coming forward to take care of our sisters and Muslims and non-Muslim both right at our home, in our own backyard. So it's really inspiring, and of course we couldn't do anything just as without the support of our brothers. So all our HCI team members, all the brothers behind us, all the brothers behind Nisa Helpline, please be there for your sisters. Mashallah, I have to say, with the rise of Islamophobia, your Muslim sisters are probably being targeted more because of the hijab. We're visible more. Our Black Lives Matters, about our sisters, from the minority community, indigenous community. It is, and I don't know if it's because of a biological program that we have sisters tend to care a bit more, get concerned a bit more, worry a bit more about the children, about our parents, about the family. So it's time that we all need to work together, take care of each other. We have to get past that gender, male versus female, whatnot, and all be with each other, inshallah. I'm extremely blessed. The prime force of behind me are all male. The 3 senior directors are all male, and without them, I couldn't have done anything. So we need our brothers and sisters, everyone together in this, inshallah. So, and that's exactly what HCI and Nisa, what we're trying to do, inshallah, bring the community together, build that bridge, and we cannot do it without your support. So please keep us in your prayer and continue to support the work of HCI and Nisa Help. Thank you so much.
All right. Any other comments before we close out for today?
Just a quick one from me.
Sure, go ahead.
Again, just to extend gratitude to be on this platform and to be able to work with you to make a difference in the community. I just want to say that we are the change that we want to see. So we are the advocates through our work and through the organizations we work with. And from an HCI perspective, we will definitely endeavor to just ensure that our health projects continue to have those the components that tackle mental health challenges and raise awareness about mental illness and mental wellness in the communities we serve, and also internally as an organization to make sure that we embody the need for our colleagues to prioritize mental wellness so that they can contribute positively to society. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mahmouda and Samantha, for sharing, your closing remarks. And Lika and Dawa couldn't have done this without you guys. So love and Dawas to the Nisa Helpline team and HCI. Educate to Illuminate team, it's time to plant some seeds and get the cultivating going. If this opportunity has been brought towards us, it's only by Allah that He's putting us in this light to create more goodness for women across the board. And it is now that we're going to continue to commit to illuminate pathways for our sisters. I love what you said, Samantha, that, it's not like, yes, for our sisters in our community, but also internally for our organizations. right? And just to take a moment and to reflect upon even just working towards getting to this live session and, working out the bits and connecting and, figuring out what's working and what's not. And, it all comes together. Right? And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from all of us, allow us to carry this forward from one generation to the next, and may it weigh heavy on our scale of good deeds. So I'm super excited, HCI team, to be working alongside all of you and the Nisa Helpline team to continue to plant these seeds and cultivate it and provide the necessary support and make it accessible to all. So with that said, I bid you guys an amazing evening, a blessed evening. As you said, Mahmouda, don't forget to check in with people that you love, whether it's your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community, someone that you see walking, share kindness like confetti and make people feel good. Share the goodness, right? So Team HCI, Team Nisa Helpline, let's start off with this Educate to Illuminate. Have an amazing evening, everyone. Have a blessed week. And we can't wait to tune in again in order to share more about what's happening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Planting a seed is easy. Growing it takes some effort. Sunlight, water, good soil, and once it takes root, time creates something strong and dependable. Human Concern International is invested in raising a forest of able and independent communities. We actively provide assistance to refugees and families, supplying food, medical equipment, educational needs. We believe in dignity for all, fulfilling the basic needs of people in difficult circumstances and ending poverty in the world. Fleeing conflicts and disasters, seeking safety, a decent livelihood, a rewarding education. It is our duty to assist them in achieving their true potential. Planting a seed is easy. Growing it takes some effort. Your contributions are a major part of that effort. Your support gives him hope, allows her to dream, and lets their family enjoy a moment of peace. Your support means a lot. Thank you. Your generous contributions are a big part of making a positive change in the world.
Nisa Helpline. Assalamu alaikum, sister. How may I help you?
I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. It felt like just yesterday when me and my family were enjoying Ramadan and breaking our fast in the masjid. But suddenly everything changed because of COVID-19. We were all stuck at home for everyone's safety, and now I watch my husband break down because his business of 12 years has gone bankrupt. And my poor kids grow more agitated day by day. And just yesterday, my mom called me in tears saying that my dad had tested positive for coronavirus and he's in critical condition. I can't take this anymore. I don't know what to do. Thank you.